their streams, it doesn't matter because it only serves to help Twitch. So why would they put the kibosh on something like that? They allow it, and Fextralife isn't breaking any rules.
No.
A lot of people have said, don't hate the player, hate the game, and
True.
they're kind of right. Fextralife is not breaking any rules. Yeah. They are...
But they're negative affecting everybody else on the website. They are. They're damaging everybody else on the website. They are hurting sponsorship opportunities. They are suppressing real legitimate streamers, but they are not breaking the terms of service. That's true.
Legally view-botting their streams and have been for a very long time, proudly. So this has obviously been controversial for a while because, as you might imagine, this doesn't help other streamers. Because Fextralife will always take either the #1 spot or the #2 spot in a brand new game release, and they're not actually actually having people watch them. It's fake, phony numbers because of the way they embed their streams on their site. So it takes those spots away from streamers that deserve it more, who actually do have communities that watch their streams.
Yeah, they're fucking posers. It doesn't matter if they put some face in front and they have 2 volunteer streamers who are making them ad revenue. Like, fucking jokers.
Well, it's not whether they deserve it or not. I mean, like, if you have a stream with that many viewers, like, the truth is that this is why, like, for example, view botting on YouTube, like botting like views on YouTube isn't really as influential because viewership on YouTube isn't the only metric that's used in order.
Yeah, Google Analytics are far more sound. There's way more that you can use to break down the effectiveness of ads being served to users that advertisers can actually benefit from. But when you come to an advertiser with a Twitch channel, it's, oh, well, how many average viewers do you get? This many.
In order to promote content. But the issue and the reason why it's bad on Twitch is that viewer count is the end all and be all of what is successful or not successful on Twitch. Because viewer count creates it's like a snowball effect, right? Because once you get up to like a high enough position in the directory, people will find you just by browsing. And whenever people are finding you by browsing, well, then that's going to increase the traffic to your channel. And whenever the traffic to your channel increases, well, then you're going to get more viewers, which is going to push you up higher, and it's going to get you even more traffic, right? So like this thing kind of, repeats on itself, and it multiplies. And so whenever you have somebody who's taking up one of those spots, there are only a limited number of these spots. And whenever a person is taking the spot away illegitimately, that is directly affecting another person. It directly affects them.
Longer have those slots.
Doesn't everybody do this? They should.
Yeah, if everybody did it, then Twitch would probably actually take action. Try to make a change to the way that things are measured so that embeds no longer count as a view. Because as a matter of fact, they shouldn't. In the same way that Fextralife in their public appeal tries to say, oh, we're trying to redirect people over to the Twitch ecosystem, that should still be the case, even if the Twitch embed doesn't count as a view. It shouldn't. They're not an active chatter. It doesn't matter if there's a Twitch chat available as part of the embed, because you can't use it unless you sign in as a user. And there's no point in signing in as a user and using the embed. You might as well go to the Twitch website. So what are we doing here?
Fextralife takes up. So obviously it makes a lot of streamers, when a new game comes out, mad because they can't compete with Fextralife view-botting fundament.
Yeah, I saw Armored Core 6, Fextralife went right to the top. Like, what a joke.
It's been that way for a long time, and I don't see it changing, but a lot of people are talking about it again, so I thought it'd be an interesting topic to discuss again, especially considering this time around the owner has spoken about it. So this is their response to all of the view-botting allegations. They state that a view bot is when you use artificial and non-existing browsers to inflate views on Twitch, and that does...
What do you mean non-existing browsers?
Trying to fool advertisers because A, it plays an ad, and B, nobody is watching. Real quick before continuing, they're getting a bit lost in semantics here as opposed to making real arguments on how what they're doing is different. Fextralife streams often have sponsors, and sometimes very big sponsors. I imagine they sell their streams with their concurrent viewer average, which is like between 10 and 30,000 viewers. It's huge. But
Right.
most companies probably aren't going to really look into that, so they're going to assume their ad is being seen by 10 to 30,000 people.
Yeah, all you have to do is hand the advertiser the metrics, and they're going to believe the statistics. They're not going to do research on this free money glitch, as some viewers have called it, this whole Twitch meta that exists. Advertisers aren't that... They don't give that much due diligence when they're trying to place their ad budget somewhere. They're just like, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Okay, we've spent our ad budget.
Which
It's
is not true.
As is very clearly
Yeah,
illustrated.
the advertisers are being finessed. They're being defrauded.
Big time.
That's clearly what's happening.
23,000 of those people aren't actually even in the stream. They're on Fextralife with the stream pulled up muted in some tab, not even aware that it's going on. So these
And they're not aware that it's going on in some cases, because in the sense that he said, oh, you have 2 to 3 tabs pulled up, you could also resize the window to a point where even if you were actively looking at that tab, you would not see that stream being played. It would be off screen because they've used CSS to manipulate the player off screen while the element is still active.
companies aren't actually getting their ads placed in front of 30,000 viewers. They're getting it placed in front of, I have no idea, maybe a few hundred, maybe 1,000. There's really no way of knowing, because there's no real activity in their stream to judge it on or anything remotely like that. So it really isn't.
Yeah, of course. Right, it's fraud, which is crime. Yeah, how is that not fraud? It is. It's clearly fraud, because like they know. So think about it like this, right? Is that whenever they provide that number, and that number is being used in order to create a contract, and they know that that number is fundamentally inaccurate, right? It's like, for example, like if you have, again, a convention, or like you had a fucking, I'm trying to think of a good example of this. Like you have like a concert, and you say there's going to be 1,000 people there, and then you just put up cardboard cutouts of people for like half of the people. Well, there's not really 1,000 people there, right? And so they are going into
You know, that actually reminds me of COVID-19, where the NHL was trying to simulate a full stadium by, instead of people actually sitting in the stands, they put like TV screens all around the seating, and we're just showing fans like watching it from home. But how many of those people are actually legitimately watching the game versus just like, you know, walking off screen from their camera to go take a shit or something like that? Or repeat screens. That's right. It could be artificial. They might not even be real people. It could just be pre-recorded on loop. Who's gonna fact check that? So it's the exact same premise. Is like, people are just getting finessed by something that's extremely obvious, but you need to be tech savvy and aware of the platform to have any sense that this is even going on.
going into the contract with these advertisers, knowingly providing a false number. They are providing a number that they know to be inauthentic.
Right.
So yeah, it's fraud.
You're saying, oh, sponsor us.
It is
We're gonna serve your
Absolutely.
ads to 30,000 people.
It's not even a question. It's like people at a convention are just passing through. Yeah. Or people that drive by the convention. That's a good example. Yeah, every person
And
that
people who
drives by the
drive by the
convention building went to the
convention.
convention. It's like reporting people walking by your store as customers. Yes, exactly. But you can prove they don't think that number is genuine. They just play ignorant. I don't think so, actually, because like they know that embedding is a thing. They're fully aware of what it is. They understand the effects of it, and they are an expert in streaming. Like they understand how it works. They are knowingly providing numbers that are inaccurate and not represent.
Or there's like one person in the organization, because they're saying, oh, they're such a small team. There's probably one person who knows how to finesse, and then the rest of them are just, for plausible deniability, not having it explained to them so that they don't know what's actually happening.
Representative of what a viewer should represent.
Different than a viewbot. When you do play an ad,
That's me giving them like a benefit of the doubt scapegoat, but it doesn't take a genius to know what's happening.
on Fextralife, nobody is watching. Same way as if you would play an ad during a stream that is just completely
Then it removes it off their
view-botted
site
in the
and solve
traditional
everything?
sense.
It would.
Nobody is watching the Fextralife ad that the company has paid for, even though there's 30,000 viewers. I would love to see the back end.
Yeah, exactly. The numbers are accurate. They're just not live viewers. So the
numbers are accurate. They're just not live viewers. What a redundancy in that statement. You just contradicted yourself.
numbers for live viewers is accurate, except for the numbers for live viewers isn't live viewers.
Yeah. Like when we say live viewers, we're talking about people who are there either lurking or interacting in chat. These viewers are doing neither. They're on a website looking for information regarding their game that they're having trouble with, on a wiki that probably doesn't even provide accurate or good information. In some cases, I remember accidentally falling on Fextralife when I was looking in the early access for quest help on Baldur's Gate 3 early access. And I'd go to a page and it was literally just empty. Placeholder text for like the title of a paragraph that was empty and had no information. But it was SEO top of the Google search because they paid to be there. So they have this tradition of wanting to be first with everything, but providing poor or no information. All in the sense that, if I had to guess, taking a wild stab in the dark, they're probably making the most of their revenue through sponsorships via Twitch based on false metrics of viewership that are generated by people going to their SEO page and then being forced to be a Twitch viewer that's not actually legitimate.
Why don't you go get your brain out of the blender, all right? How about that?
Of a return on a Fextralife sponsorship, because I imagine it has to be unbelievably low since most of the viewers are from the embedded Twitch streams. So it is
Right.
misleading to advertisers, which is another criticism a lot of people have put forth. And I think it's very valid to say that, because again, most of the viewers are not actually watching the Fextralife stream. They then say embedding is an advertisement of the stream to real people on real browsers on an external website. Like any integration, the objective is to get people to click and go to Twitch. No advertisements are played on the embedded unit, generating zero revenue. Embeds are part of the intended code of Twitch and are intentional features that anyone can use, and many content creators besides us do. These are real people that we have worked tirelessly to build up into our community. What community? You tirelessly built up an imaginary community.
Yeah, it's a...
And you didn't tirelessly build this up. You went on WordPress, you got some of the popular plugins, and then you, I guess, are able to source these databases that have a list of all the available quests in a game when it releases. You input that database into your website, and it populates your wiki full of empty articles.
community of people that are wondering where everybody else in chat is. Hey, yo, you were wondering, are they viewbotting or not, man? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just saw this stream, and so I figured I'd come in here and, yeah, you don't know either. Oh, and then when they both get banned, like, they message each other, dude, did you get banned too? Like, yeah, man. I don't know what the fuck, man. I'm gonna go watch somebody else. This is weird.
The Fextralife community you refer to is more made up than the Tooth Fairy. There is nobody in your Twitch streams. Nobody. Like, I can't tell if they're being intentionally delusional here or if they actually think that what they're doing...
I think that they're stupid. I think that the person who wrote that is stupid.
The person who wrote it is stupid and delusional.
Because they said two things that directly contradicted themselves.
Yeah, to say that the embed player doesn't serve any ads and generates zero revenue, meanwhile saying that it's the prime location for advertisers and is a value add, because you want people to click on your Twitch channel so that they can view your sponsorships in the info tabs below your effectively dead stream, because none of the people are legitimate, and anyone who legitimately tries to call you into question gets banned from your channel.
And then they made a qualifying statement to assert their integrity. That's a good clause, right?
Where they're bringing value to Twitch by adding people to the Twitch ecosystem. Anybody who cares to be on Twitch is aware of Twitch and doesn't need your help.
To assert their integrity, right? About them saying they don't know about Reddit bots. Like, these are things that a stupid person would say. Yeah, I don't think that I just think they're dumb.
Is somehow
Yeah, but they're acting dumb so they have plausible deniability. They think they're being smart, but they are in fact dumb. To say, oh, I didn't know Reddit bots were a thing. Bots are a thing. So you're aware of the terminology of botting and what it represents. So of course there's botting in every sense of the word across all platforms in so many different ways.
totally, the same as just building up a normal community. It's not. Your embedded Twitch streams are not driving your Fextralife wiki readers to your Twitch stream. There is no call to action to it that I've ever seen. It just automatically is playing whenever you're on any page on Fextralife.
Yep.
How the fuck can you possibly make an argument saying that what you're doing is just an advertisement to get those people on your wiki to the streams?
In my opinion, the real problem is also the design by Twitch. We've talked about this already, but Twitch should not be counting views in the first place when it comes to embeds. But if you're gonna count the views, the default attribute of autoplay should not be true. It should be false. So that people who set it to true can be called out when you go to inspect the element and you say, hey, you've got autoplay true on, you're a loser. And then those people can be shamed out of the Twitch community and nobody goes to their website because they have a crappy wiki anyway. But if you have embeds on your website, but autoplay is false, then you're getting legitimate people who want to view your Twitch interacting with the element and starting the stream themselves. Not autoplay on mute, people who are tuning in to see what it's about. And that might just be the occasional person who doesn't want to get involved with the Twitch ecosystem and just wants to see what you're about when they happen to catch you live as a byproduct of viewing your website for whatever other reason. But most people aren't going to view you through the embed. They're going to see the embed and use that as a glorified link to go to your Twitch directly. Because nobody wants this Game Boy sized screen, as we've been referring to it, to view your Twitch. You can't see anything. I would be, the way I'm tucked in the corner over here, I would be microscopic at the minimum requirements of a Twitch embed on my website. And I had a Twitch embed on my website. And I said, this is tacky, I'm taking this off. I made that decision months ago, before this was even relevant.
Because it's not. The streams aren't even relevant to what
Also, no one was going to my website anyway.
your readers are reading. What's being streamed is completely separate from whatever they're on your site to read about. There's no chance that the two could even connect most of the time, unless of course it is a new release like Armored Core. Then I'm sure there is some crossover where someone went to Armored Core, Fextralife, got some bad information, but saw you were streaming and was like, okay, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, but hey, why the fuck is the website wrong? I looked up how to kill this boss and I did my mech like that and it fucking didn't work, you piece of shit. You piece of shit, I fucking saw this. You did the same thing to me in Bloodborne. Your shit there was wrong. I fucking hate you.
Right. That's the thing. People would go to your stream to hate watch and complain in your chat about how all your information on your wiki was wrong, and then you ban them from chat for being negative.
Possible, but that's clearly not the goal. If that was the goal, you would only embed your...
But if I search up Baldur's Gate 3 information and go to a Fextralife wiki, I'm going to see Armored Core playing on the stream because that's the most popular category, and you're going to be at the top of the browse category as a result of my Baldur's Gate 3 tab, and thousands of others who are getting there only because you're effectively exploiting SEO on Google.
Your streams on the newest releases because they'd be relevant to each other.
Right.
As opposed to just having it embedded on every single page where it makes no sense. Why would an Armored Core 6 Fextralife stream be playing on my Dark Souls 3 Fextralife wiki? And how the fuck would you possibly think that I'm on Dark Souls 3 wiki but might want to watch Fextralife streaming Armored Core 6? It's just, that is a nonsensical statement to try and say that.
But then how do you design it in a way where the stream is suggested to you when you're on a relevant wiki? The answer is you don't. You only show your embed on your main site when people go to your main site, but nobody goes to your main site. People are looking for information about how to play the game, and they're ending up on your wikis because you're using SEO tactics to make sure you get as high as you can to the top of the Google search. And then we get there and your information sucks.
Your embeds
Absolutely.
are only there to try and get people from your actual wiki to your streams. That's not the goal. The goal is just to artificially inflate your numbers because
Yeah.
it's automatically playing and they count as viewers.
Yeah, they don't
What
care.
embedding does for me is make my website audience aware I'm a person, I'm streaming, and I can show them games that I think they'd be interested in.
Well, how
Again,
you're a person. There's like 5 people that stream on the thing. There's not even one person that's streaming on Fextralife. It's just 5 people. A person? What I think it was AI? No, it's AI. I don't care if you're a person. Oh, this is emotional appeal. Oh, I'm a person. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm a human being.
that argument doesn't work when the website is all about
So I'm reading
game
this for the second
information.
time,
It's
it's
not a
making me mad
personality-driven site. They're not going to Fextralife hoping that they'll see that Fextralife is also live on Twitch. They're going there because they're looking for guides and information on the game that they are currently playing. It just that
Right.
doesn't make any sense. What embedding does for Twitch is give them free advertising for their platform and an ongoing conversion from our website to Twitch. These new people were not on Twitch otherwise, and they're still not on Twitch. They're not going there. They're not going.
That's right. Charlie's hit the nail on the head. These people never were interested in your Twitch stream. The two things are mutually exclusive, but you're forcing it on people, most of the time unknowingly, to boost your stats so that you can exploit advertisers. There's no other way to slice that.
Going to Twitch.
Yeah, they never were on Twitch to begin with.
You can tell because there's no one in your chat.
Yeah.
I don't know why they keep trying to say that. Like, yes, it is a free advertisement for Twitch. It's free numbers for their metrics, absolutely. But they're not actually getting new people to Twitch that weren't already endemic to Twitch. Like, they're not bringing new viewers there. They're just idly on the Fextralife wiki, and it counts as a view on Twitch. And then they say they hopefully come back and become part of the Twitch ecosystem. It doesn't happen.
You're not part
Our
of the
embed is by
ecosystem.
no means a secret. It's very visible. In fact, it's the best possible spot on our website, and there's even a command for it on our channel.
As I said, it's not.
And as part of the
It's in the worst place on their website. You get that one sticky element on their wiki sometimes, but it depends how wide your viewport is. If your viewport hits a breakpoint of, it was somewhere around 1100, which I think is like the widescreen mode if you tilt your tablet. So they're saying, oh, well, because of the exception where you can't autoplay true on any mobile device, including tablets, we'll just tuck that away because it's not great for our website. But anywhere where it does benefit us, we'll have it. Because if we're on the desktop and you shrink that viewport, as I illustrate in my video, they just keep the player rolling, autoplay, and it's off screen. It's unbelievable. Like, the shamelessness.
channel rules, the idea that it's a fraud is also absurd. Our sponsors are aware of the embed, and it's a great deal for them to be able to promote their content on both Twitch and to our site users at the same time, particularly in the prime location that the embed has on our website.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. It's absolutely unbelievable, man. It's like, look at this. No advertisements are played on the embedded unit. Our sponsors are aware of the embed, and it's a great deal for them to be able to promote their content on both Twitch and the site users at the same time, particularly at the prime location the embed has on our website.
Particularly in the prime location on our website, in which no ads are served on the embed and they generate 0 revenue. Right, that embed.
Oh my god. This is what I was saying. This is the person that wrote this is a moron. They are a moron. You should have never written this.
Yeah, it was a mistake to respond.
So this is very interesting to me. The sponsors are aware of the embedding. That's great. Are they also aware that the vast majority of your Twitch metrics come from that embedding?
Yeah,
and are
exactly.
they also aware that that means it's muted? That means
Exactly.
that their sponsorship package, the ad read, all of it, the vast majority of those numbers that it's being put in front of aren't even aware it's going on because it's muted
Yep.
and it's not visible. It's a very tiny box. Do the sponsors know that? I certainly hope so, because that would be very shady if you didn't make the sponsors aware that they're
Well, of course they're going to have to, because they're selling how could, think about it logically. How could you possibly determine the value of a Twitch channel? Like, what's the logic? So how would you determine the value of a Twitch channel? Chatters and viewers.
Yeah, it's pure viewership. There's no other metric you can use. Anytime I try to look at analytics of a Twitch stream, there's not much to look at compared to a YouTube video.
Viewers, followers, you could maybe do followers, but it's going to be viewers, right?
Followers would be a terrible metric. Some people just follow and forget.
Conversion rate. Yeah. Well, you can't know conversion rate until you do.
Like Asmongold has, I don't know how many followers on Twitch, over 1 million, and his stream averages like 30,000. So like it's not even close.
Like until you sponsor it, right? Because you don't have like a crystal ball, you can't see the future. And they say site visitors go to their stream, which they're not, so they get advertisement views from both native Twitch viewers and visitors to the site. Since they're not, well, yeah, they're not. So like, I know, like, from everything that I understand, basically every single contract for advertising, pretty much, is based off of viewership. People that get more viewers get paid more money.
And a lot of these advertising agencies, they're agencies that I've worked with in the past. They have multiple levels, and you're usually dealing with some, we'll call it junior level advertiser, who has an allocated budget that they have to spend, and they're working their arses off trying to perform for their uppers, and they're just buying things that they don't fully understand, but they've been convinced are worthwhile investing in. So, you know, it's a huge problem that advertisers aren't doing their due diligence on, and you could say that that's on them, but it's also on Fextralife for BSing the advertiser.
It's that simple.
Ad read is going to be muted for the vast majority of the audience, and it's not going to be seen by them either because the box is too small and the viewers aren't actually on Twitch. I would hope you'd make them very well aware of all of the shortcomings of doing an ad with Fextralife, since most of the viewer numbers come from a fucking tiny embed on a completely separate site. That again is also muted. So hopefully you have made all of your partners aware of that. The owner does continue going on to other criticisms people have put forth
And I
against...
think that they probably tell them that, but they don't tell them the extent of it. So they say some of our viewers come from embeds.
Yeah, so if they get 30,000 viewers, they'll say, oh, some of ours come from embeds, so pay us for 15,000. Still not a legitimate number. Because, arguably, 100% of your viewers aren't legitimate.
Well, it's not some of your viewers, it's 99% of them.
Right.
So it's like, yes, I technically disclosed that some of our viewers do come from embeds to sponsor, but...
Oh, that's right. The other 1% are our staff and volunteer moderators. Those are legitimate.
Like, you're doing so in a way that is still obscuring really what the truth is.
Fextralife, such as like AI-driven content.
I mean, that's basically what I do. I don't have real viewership. 50% of my viewership comes from my moderator. In most cases, it's just me watching myself.
Content or it being lazy, stuff like that. But that wasn't the
This is why we give a fuck about pretending like we give a fuck about scamming the sponsors, though. I do. I do give a fuck.
It's less about scamming the sponsors, but scamming the sponsors as a result betrays the trust of the sponsorships, and it affects legitimate streamers from getting good sponsorship deals. Because these kinds of things happen, and then anyone who's trying to approach this in an honest way gets a shit deal.
Number one, it's fraudulent. It's straight up fraudulent. And it's not about giving a fuck, but like, it's happening. They are being defrauded.
Right.
Like, you can not care about it. That's totally fine. But it is happening. That's it. And also, what I think is going to happen, and this is how the effect is going to play out, is that the more people that do stuff like this, the more sponsors don't get their money back for the sponsorship. And the more sponsors that don't get their money back for the sponsorship means that they're going to be paying less money. And if they're...
And that's the whole reason why there's this whole Twitch is going to acquire the sponsorships for the user instead of you being able to negotiate your deals yourself externally, which you can still do. But in a lot of cases, people are too small to have negotiating power with these agencies, and the agencies get pushed back being able to say, well, people embed and view bot and things like that, so how do we know you're legit?
They're paying less money. That means streamers are going to be taking more sponsors to make up for that fact. And
which is going to result in a lower quality stream, because if you then have to go through the ad read of 17 different sponsors, you spend more time talking about your sponsors than you do having an entertaining stream.
if streamers are taking more sponsors and you're seeing more ads, that degrades your experience on the website. So
Right.
this does affect you as a user. Now, it doesn't do it, there's not a direct effect. There is in a way, right? Because you have to not click on their channel whenever you're looking for something important. But there will be an effect of this. And I think that it's already happened.
Focus of what I wanted to talk about today. The statement is still very much up if you want to see how they defend themselves against other claims, but these were the main things I wanted to talk about in regards to this situation, because this is a conversation that comes up at least once or twice a year.
Disclaimer says this is ad.
Watch the Charlie video. Followers, you could maybe do.
Or it being lazy, stuff like
Doesn't do it. There's not a direct effect. There is in a way, right? Because you have to not click on their channel whenever you're looking for something important. But there will be an effect of this, and I think that it's already happened.
focus of what I wanted to talk about today. The statement is still very much up if you want to see how they defend themselves against other claims, but these were the main things I wanted to talk about in regards to this situation, because this is a conversation that comes up at least once or twice a year. And it is a very interesting one about embedding, view botting. It is an interesting topic that I just wanted to talk about a bit, since a lot of other people
Yeah, I'm glad he did talk about it. Absolutely. Somebody says this is a streamer problem. Seems like everyone on the production side is okay with it, and it doesn't affect viewers. Everybody on the production side, and it doesn't affect viewers. I think it does affect viewers. You go to the website.
It affects viewers long term, because the changes that Asmongold proposes are bound to happen. It's a question of when, not if. People will... The more this gets publicity, the more people aren't going to say, oh, that shouldn't happen. There's going to be people out there who see this and go, oh, you can do that? And they're just going to do that.
Site. So how does it affect viewers? Like, it affects viewers in a way that I just clearly described it as just a logical outcome. It also affects viewers by playing and taking up your bandwidth whenever you are on a website and it's auto playing a video. How many times have you ever been happy that you went on a website and it auto played a video? Probably never, unless you're looking for porn.
It's the least user-friendly experience when something auto plays. Like, granted, it starts muted, but to his point, it's eating up bandwidth. It's slowing down the performance of the web page. A web page that nobody really cares to be on because it's not of high quality anyway. So the only person winning is that website.
So guess what? You're not happy about that. And again, like, that's clearly fucking... They're clearly trying to misuse your resources in order to benefit themselves. That's just
Right.
what they're doing. And I think that's probably a big reason. Then if you're going to look for a new game, you're looking to look up, hey, who's watching this game? Generally, streams that are more popular are going to be better. I would say on average, if you take 5 20K viewer streams and you compare them to 5 20 viewer streams, the 20K viewer streams are going to be better.
Sure.
So they are effectively lowering the quality of Twitch's discoverability for a newer user. So like, a user is going to go into the Fextralife stream and think, oh, this is the most popular stream, I'll just watch this one. And then they go in and they watch it. Subjective? Yeah, but it's not, though. And then they go in and they watch it, and they're like, well, this is boring, I'm just going to leave. So this negatively affects Twitch again. And then also, whenever they click on Fextralife, they don't click on somebody who deserves it. Happened to me? Yeah, exactly. It happens to a lot of people. So yeah, those are all the different ways it could affect you as a viewer. I don't think that it matters as much to viewers as streamers. This is definitely, you're right. Like, this is primarily a streamer problem. This affects me more than it affects you. But I do think that it affects everybody. And that's how it does.
We're also discussing it, and I think it's something worth going over. So that's really about it. So yeah.
So this is 100% a streamer-only problem? I just don't see, like, how could you possibly say that whenever I've just provided, like,
Chatter's not being smart.
seven different reasons of why. Like, it's just, that's such a, like, I looked at his chat. He's a moron. I just banned him. Yeah, the person is just stupid. Trickle-down economics affects all of us. It actually doesn't, because the idea of like, you know, rising tide floats all boats doesn't really work if like, you're talking about, like, you know, like basically getting people that would already be looking at the viewership, looking at those streams, right? So those people would already be perspective in the first place. That was a good video. I'm glad Charlie covered this. I'm very glad. Yeah, this is great. Just remove visuals from embedding, or just, I mean, especially for people that are abusing it, right? I mean, like, because it's one thing to do it like once or twice, or to do it for like 100 viewers, but to like do it to like the top of the entire directory, sometimes the top of the entire website for like 18 hours a day, right? That's too much, man.
That's the thing. If you're gonna cheat, be subtle about it. But this is just blatant and in everyone's face. So everyone knows you're doing it. Just stop it. It looks ugly. But why would they stop it? They're making money. I need to pee. Rage pee. Pee with rage.